Today, if you ask our youth to give you statistics about their favorite NFL player, they'll tell you everything about them. Ask them about a famous celebrity, they'll tell you their birthday, where they live, how many kids they have. Ask them about the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they probably couldn't tell you what his children's names were and what his wives' names were. So problem number one is this lack of understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And problem number two is that our youth today have a genuine fear of being called Muslim or being associated with Islam. And for some, the fear is so strong that they think Islam itself stops them from opportunities. And this is why we see our young sisters who decide to remove their hijab because they're scared they may not have the same opportunities. This is why we see our young brothers whose names are Muhammad, yet they go by Mo. And this is why we see our youth who would much rather miss a prayer than to be seen praying in public. And no, I don't, point these out to judge them or to challenge them. Rather, I point the finger at myself and at all of us as a community. And I ask us, what have we done to support our youth so that these are not the outcomes? What type of guidance have we given them? And do they know that we're there for them? Our youth are currently sandwiched between a generation of immigrant parents who may not necessarily fully understand their struggles, so when they're at home, they feel misunderstood. And they're sandwiched between that and when they go out into their schools and their workplaces, they also don't feel understood. And I'm not saying this to challenge our parents or to say that something is wrong, but rather to point out that each grew up in a different generation with very different trials and times. And this sandwich crisis has caused serious problems within our youth, where we see the rates of depression, anxiety, and sadly even suicidal thoughts increase exponentially. That we are a people who were honored by Allah through our Islam. It is not about wealth, it's not about looking beautiful, it's not about having power and having fame. Rather, it's Islam itself that brings us that honor. And so I carry this message myself and I share it with my brothers and sisters. Let's recognize this izzah, this honor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, and let that be the guiding principle within our life.